Report, everyone. Okay, welcome to Brain Fitness, everyone, and welcome if you're watching the class replay. As always, grab that glass of water. If the only thing you learn in Brain Fitness class is to drink water for your brain, then I've done my job. Right? If that's the only thing, then I've done my job. So make sure you grab that glass of water, everybody, and we'll get started. And again, you can let me know in that chat box. And if you're watching the class replay, make sure you check in with yourself, because if that's the second only thing that you learn in brain fitness class for our emotional health and for our brain awareness is the skill of the check-in, right? Because that actually talks to our brain, talks to our subconscious brain, helps us recognize our patterns, all of those sort of things. So is the skill of the check-in. Hi, Hannah. I see you just tuned in. So happy to see you.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you. I had to do the exercises for the arms, so just finished.
Oh, good. So perfect. You did your physio and then you came in. I'm so happy that you're here.
Yeah. The COVID that caught me really bad, Gil. It wasn't the other thing, it was the COVID still down with it. It had you weak, couldn't move. But I'm here. I'll be doing as much as I could.
Hannah had COVID, everybody. So we're so happy. We're so happy to hear. I'm so happy to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you.
So happy. So just sit back and enjoy, Hannah, and join in with whatever you can.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Here is our quote corner. Neurons that fire together, wire together. That's from a Canadian neuropsychologist. And that basically means that's how we make patterns, right? If we can get nerve cells to fire together, they're going to create a pattern for us, and they're going to create long-term patterns for us. And all this means is, what do I always say? This is another way of saying it. We need consistent, persistent repetition to make sure that we create those patterns in our nerves, right? So one pattern that I always say, that's why I'm very consistent at the beginning of class, everybody. Awareness creates change just by tuning in and being present to something. It allows messages to travel across our brain and give us a whole brain experience. So I encourage you to close all your distractions now, email in the background, talk radio in the background, and just make a commitment to be focused and together. And of course, your learning brain fitness allows us to do all of these wonderful things. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about the brainstem. We haven't done brainstem exercises in a while, so that's the base of the brain here, also known as the reptilian brain. It's where our physical intelligence lies. So all of those patterns, which we were talking about before I pressed record, actually, those patterns, those foundational movement skills, right? Like squatting, that's developed in the brainstem. That worked out beautifully. That's developed in the brainstem, right? Our physical intelligence, what our body needs to do to move, to survive. It connects to our spinal cord, so it connects to the physical part of our body. And our brainstem really likes to focus on the present moment. And it does all of these things: survival, sleep cycle, incoming sensory signals, maintaining consciousness. That means awake and asleep. Okay. Maintaining awareness, like being present. That's why it says it likes to be in the present moment. Controlling the flow of messages, all the things we need to physically survive, right? Breathing, heart rate, swallowing, focus, comprehension, being in the moment. All of those things are brainstem. So the exercises we're going to do today are for that. We're just going to come back to the basics, the essential of what it means to be a human being. The essentials of what it means to be human. Okay, so let's do a warm up, everybody. We're just going to keep it classic today. Alert, awake, alive, enthusiastic. We'll just go through it once. Come on and stand up with me, or stay on the front edge of your chair. Oh, good. I see lots more people tuning in. I had problems connecting this morning, so good. Welcome, everybody, as you're tuning in. All right, stand with your feet shoulder width apart, everybody. Hands up in the air. We know it. We've done it before. We're going to sing Alert, Awake, Alive, Enthusiastic 2 if you're happy and you know it. Here we go. I'm alert, awake, alive, enthusiastic. I'm alert, awake, alive, enthusiastic. I'm alert, awake, alive. I'm alive, awake, alert. I'm alert, awake, alive, enthusiastic. Give yourself a shake up here. Give yourself a shake down here. A shake up here. A shake down here. And a big shake all the way down. All right, come on back and sit down. See if that woke us up a little bit from our sluggishness, from our Monday mornings. And what did we just do, everybody? In order for something to be a brain fitness exercise, it needs to have at least 3 of the 6 M's. So mouth, music and rhythm, movement. Mind means problem solving. Meaning means emotional connection or deep understanding. And then the bonus is the midline, anytime we cross the midline. So alert, awake, alive, enthusiastic pretty much does all of them except the midline, but sometimes we do it, we change the actions to this. So we cross the midline. So it's been proven, alert, awake, alive, enthusiastic as a brain fitness exercise. So I'm going to do a little review today on nerves, nerve connection, because again, the brain stem, that's like where all of the nerves, right? They come up into the brain, the base of our brain. Every single thing we feel in our body, every single nerve, every single movement passes through that brain stem. It's so important. So what are nerves? A little tiny anatomy lesson here, everybody. Nerves look so much different than any other cell in the human body. Remember grade 9 science, or maybe it was grade 7, I don't know. And you had that picture of the nerve and it was just a circle, and then there's a nucleus in the middle of it. And can you remember any other the names of the things that were inside that nerve that we studied? Right, the mitochondria, right, all those little parts of the nerves, but most cells look like this. Nerve cells are so different and so special because they're shaped like this. They're really long, and they have other parts of them that are different from that regular, like a skin cell. If we look at that circle shaped cell that we learned, they have a nucleus here, and then they have a big long tail. That's the nerve. And at the end, the nerve ending, that's where it sends signals to the next nerve in that pattern, in that flow pattern. There's no other cell in the body that looks like this. They're so special. So what happens at the end here, these nerve endings here, they connect to another nerve to this ending here. And I'm giving you a lot of anatomy. I'm not gonna give you all the too much information, but what I am gonna say here is that nerves never touch each other. So you know how we say water is so important? Water is the number 1 brain fitness exercise, that if that's the only thing you learn is to keep your brain hydrated, it's because it's the only way that our nerves can communicate. They actually send electrical impulses and they never touch each other. It's the impulses between the end of one nerve and the other that are sending the message. Water needs to happen, and also trace minerals need to happen. Calcium, these big white things here, calcium carries the message into the next nerve. So we need trace minerals. Calcium, particularly magnesium, is also important, and water is also important. That's who's ever heard the term, you let me know in that chat box, electrolytes. I worked out too much, I sweat too much, my electrolytes are off, right? We're really concerned about it with athletes, right? My electrolytes are too off. Or if we're out in a really hot day, right? My electrolytes are off. Electrolytes are minerals, and they're the ones that are making sure that our nerves can talk to each other. That's what electrolytes are. They're salts, right? And if our nerves can't talk to each other, our brain can't function, our body can't function, but we also need water to carry them. So that's how nerves works. You can come back and read this slide anytime you want, but that's how nerves work. So that's a little bit of anatomy. And I like to say knowledge of knowledge is important. When we know how our body works, we can understand what's happening when we feel certain feelings. When we're feeling off, maybe I need to drink some water. Maybe I need a little bit of salt or a little bit of magnesium, right? And we can help ourselves be the best that we can be when we have this knowledge. So here's the interesting thing. When we increase our nerves' capturing ability, that means its ability to send the signals from one nerve to the other, we're creating stronger connections, right? So if we give them more tools and they can send more signals, plenty of signals between here, we actually create stronger nerve connections. So water, eating a healthy diet, and then actually using our nerves. That's what brain fitness is, right? We're actually using those patterns and asking them to fire. So back to the quote of the day, nerves that fire together wire together, right? And stronger connections directly correlate with better memory, everybody. So that's the science behind all of the brain fitness exercises we do, and the reason we want to be consistent, persistent, and repetitive in them. When we practice them, when we challenge them, when we do new ones that are more challenging, we're creating stronger connections. We're giving, that's why it's called brain fitness. We're exercising, just like if we were exercising our body, right? But the most important thing is we can keep those connections strong, and the stronger the connections, the better memory we can have. So how do you make stronger connections? I think I've already said it 3 times today. Consistent, persistent repetition. So I'm going to skip that. We've already done our shake it out. I combined both of them. So today I wanted to do hand exercises. And hand exercises directly correlate or connect with the brain stem and also with nerves. Think about how often we use our hands, right? How many times a day do we use our hands? There is an incredible amount of nerve endings here. In our fingertips, the tips, our fingers, our thumbs to move them, right? The thumb is what makes us human, right? That can move. But there's actually a massive amount of nerve endings here. And we need to look after them. And we need to challenge them so that they keep firing together. So for example, everybody grab your glass of water, because we all have a glass of water. Everybody grab your cup of water. I want you to take a sip of that water and put it back down. Let me ask you something. What were you thinking about when you took that sip of water? This is refreshing, it's good, right? But how did your fingers know exactly the right angle to tip that glass of water to get the exact amount of water you needed in your mouth so that your mouth wasn't overflowing, so that it was the exact amount that you could handle swallowing without choking, right? How do our hands know how to do that? There's so many nerve endings here and so much happening, so much pattern stuff happening here, right? And we don't think about it. Our nervous system's thinking about it and automatically doing it for us. Or how about this one? Excuse me. How fast do you react when you touch something hot or cold? Very quickly, right? It's probably like 500 miles a second or something, or 500 miles an hour or something, however quickly when you touch a hot stove, a hot iron, or maybe even a cold ice cube, and we're not thinking about it. So our hands are kind of a defense, and our connection to the outside world, they protect us and connect us in the same time, in the same space. So each one of your fingertips, one fingertip, everybody, has 3,000 microreceptors on it. 3,000 receptors on that fingertip. And they connect directly into the nerve highway that travels directly through your spinal cord, through your brain stem to your brain. And that information travels so fast that it's immediate, right? As soon as I touch something hot, my brain knows that I've touched something hot. So we need to keep those nerves healthy, okay? Water and using them. So building reaction time, this is actually a pretty amazing study, and there's quite a few on this. Building reaction time means information can get to the brain quicker. Make sense? Right? The quicker our reaction time from our hands to our brain to taking action, that actually correlates with better memory, with building our memory, with keeping our memory strong. So stronger the connections equals better reserve. We'll call it boosted brain power. It's all sitting in there ready to go, or a bigger gas tank of nerves that are willing to work for us. It means that it's easier to program and access our long-term memory. So by doing exercises for our hands, the brain fitness exercises that I'm going to show you for our hands, we're tapping into this amazing highway of nerves that, and if we make them stronger, we can help protect our memory. We can strengthen our memory. We can help with brain fog, and it can help prevent memory loss. All right. And the reality is we all have memory loss at different stages in our life for different reasons. And if we can continue to strengthen our brain through brain fitness and brain exercises in ways, and help keep that memory reserve and connection strong, and at the same time help keep our body reserve connection and strong, our body able to move in our independence, then I don't know about you, but I'm going to live to be 100, and I'm going to live well. I'm going to live independently till I'm 100. That's the goal. So let's stimulate our highway to our brain through our hands, everybody. So some of these we've done, some of these we haven't done that often, but all of today's exercises are great for focus, for fine motor skills, and our fine motor skills help with that reaction time, right? So that builds our nerve system, builds our capacity, builds our reserve. Whole brain experience. They're also all great for coordination. Again, coordination, reaction time, building, stimulating the nerve highway, keeping it strong, keeping it practicing and in use. They all help with strengthening those synaptic connections, right? That space between the nerves where they're talking. And they also all help improve our long-term memory access. And basically everything's in our long-term memory, right? Our short-term memory is just within a few hours. The words that I'm trying to remember when I'm talking to you today, that's in my long-term memory. How I move my body, that's in my long-term memory. All the things that we want for vitality, for life, for independence, that's all in our long-term memory. Not just about the memories of my childhood, right? How I speak, how I move, how I function, that all lives in my long-term memory. And if we can access that quicker, easier, more often, however you want to put it, we're going to live with more vitality, and we're going to live with more independence, and we're going to continue to support ourselves to do that. Okay, so the first exercise, thumb, base to knuckle. So I want you to, and some of these you might notice you do naturally, and there's a reason for that. It's our nervous system and our body and our brain wanting to practice anyway. So some of these you might be like, oh, I already do that sometimes when I'm fiddling, right? We naturally practice anyways. So you're going to take your thumb, everybody. You're going to take your thumb and you're going to place it close to the base of the knuckle of your pointer finger. So kind of in between your base knuckle and your middle knuckle. Okay, so to the bottom. And you're just going to apply a little bit of pressure like a massage. And then we're going to do that for all our fingers. And we're going to do it for our middle finger, our ring finger, our pinky. And we're going to move our way back. Did anybody do this? I used to do this in high school. As soon as I learned this brain fitness exercise, I was like, oh yeah, I totally remember sitting in high school at my desk, doing this, listening to the teacher talk, right? It's a natural movement. There's a reason it exists. It's stimulating our nervous system. Let's do the other hand. The other hand might be a bit more challenging. Okay, so we're gonna take that thumb, we're gonna place it at the top, over top, in between our two knuckles, and we're just gonna apply a little pressure. So a little bit of kind of finger bobbing here. And then we're gonna go to the next finger, and the next one, and the next one. And then we're gonna move our way back. Curious question, anybody's knuckles crack? Anybody feel like, oh, that feels like a good massage? We've got in the comment box, my thumb's too short. I don't know the answer to that one. I'll come up with the solution by next week. But maybe you just do this one finger, right? If your thumb's too short. I do have a freakishly long thumb, I will admit that. And then try doing them together. Yeah, and it feels good. It feels like a massage. You know, when we do the ear massage, which we'll do at the end of the day today, right? We're actually we're giving ourselves almost a whole body massage here. We're stimulating all of those nerves. Okay, so we've waken up all of the nerves on our hands, everybody. Actually, I think the next exercise is the solution if your thumb is too short. So this one is the solution, Faye, maybe if your thumb is too short. Maybe you do this one instead. So I want you to make the okay sign, everybody. Okay sign. And same thing. Now we're gonna make the okay sign with our middle finger and apply a little pressure. Give your fingertips a little bit of a massage, because remember, 3,000 receptors in each fingertip. And then we're gonna do the okay sign with our ring finger. And you know what? You don't have to apply a lot of pressure actually for that massage. Actually, the lighter you do it, you might feel more stimulation in those fingertips, right? If you do it nice and lightly, are you more aware of all the receptors in your fingertips? Maybe you feel some tingling. Let's switch to the pinky finger. And then we're going to work our way back. Ring finger, middle finger, pointer finger. And then we're going to do the other hand. So, okay, everything's okay. Give ourselves a little massage. So this one's more of just stimulating those nerve endings, little tiny circles, light tiny circles, feeling those nerve endings in the fingertips. Notice if you feel any tingling, versus this one, we're really like applying some pressure, right? And both will stimulate those nervous systems. So work your way back. And then of course, try both hands. It's actually a nice moment of quiet, isn't it? A nice moment of connection. So you almost get a little bit of a bonus there of like a moment of quiet connection as well. I'm curious, my fingertips are tingling. Yeah. So tingling, stimulated, maybe it's calmed you down. It can be a good anxiety one too, because again, we're bringing ourselves into focus and kind of giving ourselves a whole body massage with that one too. I just scratched my neck naturally. My body wanted to scratch the back of my neck. I don't know why. And then I felt a whole tingling actually up my spine when I did that. So my brain just told me to do that for some reason. Yeah, my fingers feel warm, right? So good. The other thing, right? As we age, circulation, right? So it doesn't need to be heavy massage, just that gentle gives us that circulation. My fingers feel warm, feel tingly. And then I want you to just check in with yourself too. How do you feel? Because it can provide a moment of calm or a moment of focus, right? Maybe you feel a little more energetic, or maybe you feel a little bit more focused or a little bit more calm. And so this exercise can also become a self-soothing exercise in some ways, or a way to bring yourself into focus if you're having worry or anxiety as well. So that there's like an extra kind of added bonus. Not just physical neuron health. We get a little bit of emotional health bonus here too. Yeah, we've got my hands feel warm and tingly, or warm. I feel warm and calm. Yeah, right? It centers us. It's a way of centering us and bringing us back in to ourselves as well. Okay, so this one we've done. Now that we've really warmed it up, stimulated all of those nerve endings in our fingers, we're gonna do the pinky to thumb, everybody. We're gonna keep challenging ourselves with this one. So you're gonna take your hands, make your pinky fingers touch so your palms are facing you. Make a fist. And on your right hand, you're gonna pick up your pinky finger. And on your left hand, you're gonna stick your thumb out. Now we're very slowly gonna switch. So left hand, bring the thumb in. Left hand, put the pinky finger up. Right hand, bring the pinky finger down. Right hand, stick the thumb out. Nice. Those of you have the camera, that's great. Okay, so let's go a little faster. Thumb in, pinky up, other pinky down, thumb out. Thumb in, pinky up on the same hand, pinky down on the opposite hand, thumb out. So working across until we can switch all at the same time. We're getting better at this. Nice. Okay, so hand-eye coordination's happening there, coordination's happening there. We're stimulating the nerve endings not only on our fingers, but really all the way up here, right? All the way up our forearm. We're really tapping into that. Anybody feel like they did a better job at that today than they've done in the past? Those of you that cameras on, you guys look great. Yeah. Is that exercise getting easier for you? And it should never be like, oh yeah, super easy, right? Because that exercise is one of those exercises always going to be a challenge, right? But we want to see progress on it. We want to see progress on it. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of waking up the brain, everybody. Flipping hands is the next one. So we're gradually, we went to stimulating our nerves, into some coordination here, right? Now we're getting into coordination, right? We're going to do another one, coordination, because studies have shown when we work on that coordination, that fine motor skills, again, that's making our nerves stronger, making our memory stronger. So one hand, I just want you to palm down, palm up, palm down, palm up. So just flip the hand. Flip that hand. Bring in the other hand. Actually, let's do the other hand first. Palm down, palm up, palm down, palm up. So let's get pretty comfortable with this. It's pretty easy, right? That's pretty easy coordination. All right, let's put both hands out. I want you to come to the front of your seat. Make sure your feet are on the floor, actually. Actually, I'm going to stand up for this one because we haven't stood up yet. I'm going to stand up. If you want to stand up with me, you can. You don't have to, but... Okay, so palms down, palms up. Palms down, palms up. Now, they're both going at the same speed, right? I want you to choose a hand. I'm going to choose my right hand, and I'm going to make it go twice as fast. Can you make one hand go twice as fast? Flip twice as fast. It's hard, right? Okay. Let them down. Let your arms shake down again. We're going to try again. Let's start. Now we're going to do the other hand. So let's start. Same speed. Palms up, palms down. Palms up, palms down. I'm going to try and make my left hand go twice as fast. Actually, I think I'm better on this side. All right, shake it out. Did anybody feel their shoulders doing this? Right? Shake those shoulders down, put them down in their pockets. That's another sign, natural sign for us A lot of us, when we're thinking or when we're challenged or when our coordination's challenged, we do this, right? We tense up. So if you ever notice in life, you've heard me say this before, if you're out of balance in your body, that's sometimes a sign that you're out of balance, maybe emotionally or in your brain, right? And vice versa. If you feel this going on in your life, check in with yourself. What am I thinking really hard about right now? What's making me do this that I'm thinking really hard about? And it can be a good check-in with yourself, right? My body's doing this. I should check in with myself. Why am I doing that? Okay, next one, everybody. I'm going to give us some relaxing ones now. We've stimulated them, we've worked it. You might actually feel like you've worked your forearm or feel it in your shoulders a little bit. We're going to do the self-hand massage, and I love the self-hand massage. It's going to stimulate all of the nerves. If you want, take your rings off. Actually, I'm going to take my rings off. And you can always do this with like a nice hand cream if you want, or here's a way to work it into your routine. If you're putting a hand cream on every day, take that time to do a hand massage. It'll stimulate all of those nerve endings. So all I want you to do is you're going to bring one thumb to the base of the opposite hand. So the base of the palm, the opposite hand, right in the middle. There's kind of a perfect little spot there, right? So we're going to start. I like to put my other fingers on the back of my hand just to give it a bit of support. We're going to start by drawing a circle. I want you to go all the way around. So you're going to get right here, the base of your thumb, and then the base of every single finger all the way around, and apply as much pressure as you want. Doesn't that feel amazing? Nice and slow, as much pressure as you want. Then I kind of like to change that circle into a heart, because why not draw a heart for yourself? We can turn it into a bit of a mindfulness exercise. So just make it a heart. And then you can come down through the middle. So I like to draw one side of the heart and then another side of the heart so that we get down through that middle as well. And then we're going to go for our fingers, everybody. All right. So I'm going to start with my pinky. I've got 2 fingers on the knuckle and my thumbs on the back, and I'm going to rub up my pinky finger and then give it a pinch at the end where all of those nerve endings are. I'm going to do that for my ring finger. 2 fingers on one side, thumb on the other, kind of rub and roll and work myself up the finger. Little pinch. Middle finger. Pinch. Pointer finger. Pinch. And then thumb. And give it that pinch at the end. How does this hand feel in comparison to this hand? Lighter, more fluid, maybe. We're going to do the other hand too. But what a difference, right? Just think about what does this side of my body feel like versus this side from doing that. This one feels like free and light. All right, so thumb in the base here. Again, circle. Getting all of those knuckles. Yeah, we've got in the chat box, definite difference. So something simple. Remember, sometimes small and slow solutions, simple and easy solutions can make a world of difference. If I feel light and free in my hand, can I feel light and free in my emotions? Can I feel more connected? Right? Make that circle into a heart, everybody. So you're coming down the middle. I'm looking at myself in the camera and my brain's getting confused because my hand's working opposite to because like looking in a mirror. So hand, nice heart. And let's do those fingers. So starting with the pinky, like a roll. You get to decide how much pressure you put on. The pinch at the end is the key part. That pinch is really stimulating those 3,000 receptors at the end of each fingertip. Pointer finger. And the thumb. And then wiggle them out. And you can give them a little rub, both hands, give them a little rub too. This is another one we naturally do. Who does this when they're stressed or self-soothing? Wringing the hands. It's the same thing. Usually we're worried about something we're trying to access in our long-term memory, thinking about something maybe we've accessed, and we start wringing our hands, right? There's reasons these natural movements exist. They're programmed into our body. We're born with this programming to wring our hands or to twirl or to jump or to smile, right? They stimulate our brain and our nervous system. Okay, we're gonna do a couple of my faves now. Speaking of fingertips, let's do connect with your midline now that we've got ourselves all massaged. Come onto the front edge of your seat. Put your feet flat on the floor. Now connect all of your fingertips. Make sure your shoulders are down in their pockets. You can push into those fingertips and just feel them, feel that connection. So now we're connecting our hands across the midline. And imagine you're holding a ball of energy. And as slow as you possibly can, bring those hands together into prayer. Pressing those hands together, notice if you feel any heat, the palms of your hands and your fingers, crossing those fingers over, crossing those thumbs, big breath in. How do you feel? And how do your hands feel? Let me know in that chat box. And then we're gonna do my second favorite exercise of all time. Connect to the midline is my first favorite because it's so easy. It's so easy. You can do it anywhere. And any of these hands ones you can actually do anywhere and people won't notice, right? What you're doing. And it can help you stimulate that nervous system. Yeah, I feel like I've just done a meditation, right? Just by doing all of this hand work, right? Feel warm, feel calm. Yeah, definite difference. Lighter. So come on to the front edge of your seat, everybody. Now let's give ourselves another full body massage. The other area of our body other than our hands, where all of those nerve endings are connecting, is our ears, right? They come up here into our brain stem. So if you want, you can take your glasses off. You want to put your hair behind your ears if you want. Check those shoulders, everybody. 2 thumbs up. Who's awesome? Me. Put that thumb at the curl of your ear or the top of your, whatever you want to call it. 2 fingers behind your ear. And we're gently, slowly going to massage that ear. Oh yeah, all the way to that earlobe. Same thing, when you get to that earlobe, give it a pinch. Let your hands and your arms and your shoulders drop and give yourself a big breath. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and just do a check-in with yourself, head to toe, really quietly. How do I feel in my head? How do I feel in my shoulders and my neck? How do I feel in my arms, my hands, in my body, my abdominals, my hips, down your legs, all the way to your toes. And then I want you to ask yourself how you feel in your mind. And open your eyes. How do you feel? Today was actually a quick class, so it's good that my my Zoom wasn't working right at the beginning. This is a perfect example, any of these exercises today. You've heard me say it before, small and slow solutions. Deep work doesn't have to be heavy and hard work all the time. It can actually be easy and we can actually get results quickly, right? It doesn't have to be a big, long thing to get results sometimes. And all of these exercises, that's the power. I'm going to make a pun here, everybody. You have the power in your fingertips. Or is that a pun or a joke? I don't know. You literally have the power in your fingertips to stimulate your brain, to make yourself feel better. We're getting a lot of comments in the chat box. I feel lighter. I feel energized. I feel ready for the day. I feel connected to myself, right? I can feel connected to my emotions. I can feel relieved or resolved. So not only have we helped ourselves emotionally, we've helped ourselves physically, we've helped our body feel energized. We've stimulated our body to feel ready to go. We've warmed our body up and basically given ourselves a full body massage. And given, maybe you've had a mindset shift from the beginning of class, whatever it is, but so simple, so simple. So let me review the ones we did again today. We did this one. Right, yeah, I feel more positive we've got. So we did the kind of the knuckle massage with pressure. We did okay. This one's so easy, right? We can do this waiting in line at the grocery store, right? We did the pinky thumb. We did connect to the midline. We did the hand massage. The hand massage is so nice. You can work that into your daily pattern. You can make it a habit. Every night before I go to bed, I'm going to put some hand lotion on and give myself that hand massage, right? That's how you can be consistent, persistent, and repetitive with that one. And of course, we did the ear massage. And we also, after we did, even just after doing one of them, you can choose your favorite one, quick check-in with ourselves. How do I feel head to toe? How do I feel actually in my hands and my feet? And then how do I feel emotionally or mentally? Because it's all connected, everybody. All of our nerves are connected to our mind, to our emotions, to our brain, to our body. We're never disconnected. We just have to bring forward the awareness to find that connection again. And it can be easily done. Easily done, right? Yeah, I feel more positive. I feel more energetic. How cool is that? Right? How cool is this? It's okay. It's that cool, everybody. Right? Like, how cool is that? So, reminder. This might sound kind of weird, but challenge your hands. Okay? Use your hands, stretch them out, give them the massages, because they really are a gateway into strengthening our memory, strengthening our connection to ourselves, and strengthening our body. Our hands are so important and we don't give them a lot of love. We just forget that they're there. Our hands and our feet, right? We use them all the time, every day, for literally everything: cooking, eating, typing, drinking, brushing our teeth, standing, sitting. For our feet, I do a whole other session on feet one day, right? So giving them like a couple minutes of appreciation and a couple minutes of stimulating them can actually be a really, really easy tool to increase our quality of life. Okay. So I love this picture because somebody got creative with their hands and took a cool picture. So that's what I'm saying. Use your hands, acknowledge them, be creative with them. I challenge you to find 3 other people and recreate this picture. And it's almost a brain fitness exercise in its own to figure out how to do it, right? But just look down at your hands and appreciate all they've done for you, all they continue to do for you, and give them the stimulation that they need to continue to give you good quality of life. So of course, here's what we learned today, everybody: why water is awesome. We learned about the brainstem and its connection to our hands. We learned a little bit of anatomy and how our neurons actually work and why that's important, and how that correlates with accessing long-term memory and strengthening long-term memory. We learned hand exercises to strengthen our nerve highway, and ultimately being consistent and persistent with those hand exercises can also help to strengthen your long-term memory. Okay, everybody. Please let me know how you're feeling in the chat box now. And I will see you guys later on this afternoon. I haven't put the topic up yet for this afternoon, but it's going to be about the topic is how are you? How are you feeling? Checking in with yourself and checking in with others. So make sure you do that check-in. And if you're watching the class replay, make sure you check in with yourself as well.